Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Stamp Swap. Stamp Swap is a game published by Stonemaier Games, designed by Paul Salomon. Plays 1 to 5 players, 20 to 60 minutes, ages 14 plus. All that's probably accurate. It's not a very long game once you figure it out, and age is dependent on your kid. This is a game about collecting stamps. Not the first game about that. We've also covered another game called Penny Black. Similar theme, much different game, but a similar theme. And what you're doing in this is you are trying to collect different types of stamps that you like. You're going to be drafting them from a supply of available stamps and or cards. And then we're going to do some I split you choose, where I'm going to take some of yours, you're going to take some of mine. And then we're going to make the best of the stamps that we took to try to score the most points. That's it. It's done over 3 rounds. At the end of the 3 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner. If you want to see how all that works, you can click the link in the video description, and you can watch me play through a full round, and then I'll tell you about the in-game scoring and all that mess. If you don't care about that, stick around here, and we will take a look at the components. All right, so let's take a look at the components for Stamp Swap. All right, so this is from Stonemaier. That box is really cool. Not the first game about stamps. There's also another one called Penny Black. We'll talk more about that, but just wanted to mention it. The box is normal. Well, that's really fuzzy. Normal Ticket to Ride size. So nothing too much there. But let's look at the components. So here's a player board. The player board is a basic area to keep things. Got a grid to put your stamps on. All that. First player marker, which is a nice cardboard piece. These tickets are really cool. Here's this rare stamp, which I think is fantastic. It's gold. It's shiny. Worth a lot of points. These tiles are really fun. I like all that. This is the actual board, turn order cards, all that kind of thing, gold cards. All the production's pretty nice. I have no issues with any of it. This place that holds the stamps is really cool. We tried to play with the stamps in the box, but it gets a little obnoxious taking them out of this little thing every time. So if you're going to play, I would say take it out, but it's a really nice storage container for it. Got a lid, so nothing moves around, all that. I appreciate that. There's some solo stuff. I'm probably not going to play that, but it does exist because it's a Stonemaier game. The rule book is okay. It has the same issue that a lot of Stonemaier games have, where they try to be concise, which I appreciate, but in the quest for short and sweet, they missed out on some clarifications. I wish more of these cards here had clarifications, because it talks about whenever they get drafted, they're available immediately. But technically, it's not yours yet because you haven't split it. So, yeah, it's a little funky. But aside from that, it teaches you how to play the game. I just wish it was a little more thorough. It directs you to videos, but I don't really want to do that all the time. So, yeah, not too much to say bad here. It looks nice. The stamps are fantastic, and I dig it. So those are the components for Stamp Swap. Let's go up to the top and talk about what we think about the game. All right, so that was Stamp Swap. This is a game from Stonemaier, so automatically it gives it a leg up, in my opinion, because I really like Stonemaier games. But I also have Penny Black in the collection, so that kind of gave me pause. Penny Black just came out, and then this one comes out with the same theme. From looking at it, it kind of looked the same, so I was a little hesitant, but then I finally played it, and it's much different. This is an I Split You Choose game where there's going to be a pool, a common pool from everyone. We're going to take some, draft some from that pool, and then from the ones that we've drafted, we're going to split them into 2 groups. Someone's going to take one of the other players, going to take one of mine. I get the one that's left, and then I'm going to take another player's, mix them together, and then I'm going to place them on my board to try to score some goals. That's it. It's a pretty fun little game. It's not very long. It's only 3 rounds. My only big issue is the rule book wasn't as clear as I liked when it came to some of these cards here, these specialists. It says when you take them immediately, they become available. But they're not really yours when you take it. So I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little funky. Um, but outside of that, and I wish some of this stuff would have a little bit more clarification, like the grouping or some of that stuff. I know some of it's pretty obvious. I get that a group is a group, stamps touching, but what if that's not what they mean? I would have liked that to be a little clear. Maybe I missed it in the rule book, but it should be right in my face. Every one of these cards, there's not that many of them. You could put them in the back. I wish Domeyer would do this more. Put them in the back and just give me an explanation, so I don't have to think about it. I can read it. If there's any ambiguity or reason to be unclear, the rule book can sort me out. That's just one of my big complaints with Stonemeyer overall is they try to keep the rule book small, but while they're doing that, some of the stuff gets left out, in my opinion. But aside from that, this is an enjoyable game. It's not my favorite Stonemeyer game. It's probably not going to be my favorite Stonemeyer game. But for people who like to collect stamps, people who want a game that's maybe not as involved with like a tapestry or a viticulture or a scythe or something, this will be one that you could bust out and just have a fun time. Most people know stamps. Most people mailed a letter. And collecting stamps has been around forever. There's movies about it, Charade, Walter Matthau. And it's just a thing that's in the cultural zeitgeist where, it's familiar enough that people might dig it. And it's not in a ton of board games. I've named 2 here. There might be more, but those are the 2 that I know. So I'm going to give this a BGM set to seal. It's going to get a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give the games that we enjoy, and that is what I'm going to do. So that is Stamp Swap from Stonemeyer Games. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.